Yes, welcome back to Altenstein, everybody. And we are now off to fertilise our fields. That's one thing that I did forget to do in the earlier episodes, even though they were already planted and growing before I started this particular save. I've just noticed they don't actually have a fertiliser level at all, or fertiliser stage I should say. So I'm going to go ahead and do those. Remember, as I said in the first video, or in the second, I can't remember which, I've only got one stage of fertiliser set for this particular map. Should make things a lot easier. So let's just lower that down and turn it on. We've got a good width here with this particular fertiliser. It's going to be a little bit difficult to see where I've actually been. We'll just have to try to do our best, obviously. In this field of canola right here. Look at that. You can hardly see the tractor in amongst all of that. Now, under normal circumstances, I'd be wrecking these crops big time. I haven't got the crop destruction mod set up yet. That is one thing that I asked in the last particular video, was whether you thought I should do it, but haven't had much feedback at all, so let us know what you think. I think I might actually go ahead and get that crop destruction mod set up. The only thing is, we do have our own workshop, but it seems as though you don't get to change into narrow tyres for free unless you actually buy one of the workshops from the store. So I don't want to have to spend 1,000 times every time I've got to switch over my tyres as we complete that field, just like that. Let's just quickly check out what that looks like. Let's just zoom in and look at the fertilizing. There we go. That wasn't actually too bad. So what I'll do, guys, is I'll go and do these last couple of fields, the last 2 or 3, and join you on the other side. And here we are, folks. We're back, and we are just finishing off this final little field right at the end of these 4 fields beside the road here. And look how tiny this particular field is. I said I wasn't going to mention that again, but there we go. I lied. Look how tiny, and this one is absolutely miniature. Look at that. Takes no time at all. So what I'll do is I'll just cover this as much as I can. Probably every bit counts, to be honest. And we are done and dusted. If we just go and check out our map now, and as you can see, for some reason the field, which I think has, let's see, what does that field have? I think it has sugar beet. It does, which I'm not going to be able to harvest at this point unless I hire something. But everything else has been fertilized, including the grass field up there. And that's one thing I'm definitely going to do, is fertilize the grass field. And in fact, that's what I'm going to go do now. I'm going to go and fill up my fertilizer, and we're going to go and fertilize up around the sheep here, because there's a lot of grass here, and I want to go and cut some grass. And that just then gives us the option to either make some grass bales or turn it into silage, which obviously is important for feeding our animals, for our cows, but also to turn to actually sell at the biogas plant. Silage is definitely a good money maker, as we know from previous episodes. So one thing also is that I've just upgraded the map. The version that I had was a slightly older version, a couple of weeks old, and there's a couple of additions in here that weren't in the original map, and that's really just a couple of selling points. You have your fertilizer and your seed points, in that log sitting right there. That is a real pain. I'm going to have to cut that up and sell it. Oh, come on. Backing skills coming to the fore once again, and we'll just go around here. A bit of paint coming off the tractor, doesn't matter. That's what you're doing. Come on, we'll get there eventually. That log is in a really bad position. What am I getting hit by there? No, that's right, the collision. That's not letting me. Ladies and gentlemen, you've got to lift your fertilizer dispenser. What an absolute shocker. Yeah. Anyway, I'll catch you in a minute when I'm up in the big grass field. Well, I should go and learn how to play this game, I think. And here we are back up the top here, and we are, let's turn this on. up where the sheep would usually reside, and from memory I don't think I have any sheep, so they won't be bothered at all because they don't exist. They will not be bothered about the fertiliser I'm about to spread everywhere. The purpose of this really is to ensure that we get the maximum return out of our grass. And let me just check that this is actually doing something, because I noticed that it's actually... okay. There we go, everybody. There's a trick for young players. It's making no... I know why. I've just realised that... Okay, here goes a good little learning. And some of you will probably already know why. But the reason is because this isn't a field that's been prepared as a field and then grass being sown, then because that's not the case, it means that fertiliser has no effect. This is just basically open grass that was already there as part of the map. Now, for example, if I went over and harvested this field over here, which looks like it's got soybean in it, if I harvested that and then replanted that field in grass, then I could fertilise the grass. But no, I should have thought about that. That made no sense whatsoever, really, when I thought back about it. But yeah, so we can't fertilise that. So, what are we going to do then? I think what we need to do is, I still want to just hold off advancing the game until I have until the crops are at the next growth stage. And if we take a look here, they're still, as you can see, near the end of the growth stage, or in growth stage number 3 by the looks of it, or number 4 I would say. So almost ready to harvest, but not quite. So in the meantime, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a few jobs for other farmers, and then earn a little bit more money, give myself a little bit more of a buffer. Then hopefully by that stage our crops will be ready to grow. So let's jump over here and get into it. And he wants me to harvest this field. I can do that. Let's check this out. 29439 is the field. I wonder what it will be once I finish. Okay, we'll chuck on the old header here, and we'll get underway. Fold might help, and I think I'm going to have to lower the header right here. Flip back to this one, and let's turn it on. Let's go. Let's get this done. It's wheat. What did I call it before? Soybeans. Well, that was a bit of a shocker. Okay guys, I'll go ahead and get this field done, and I'll be back soon. And actually what I'll do is I'll go away and do a few jobs, and when I'm next on, we'll be ready to harvest our own fields, hopefully. So I'll catch you on the other side. Okay, welcome back everybody. And we are ready to harvest our own fields. Ended up actually going ahead and fast forwarding time, because it was taking an absolute age to get to the harvesting stage, or the right growth stage. So I did a job or two. Incidentally, if you remember, that field that I did before was 29,000 something, the price of the field. After doing that job, it went down to 28,825, which just shows that by completing those jobs, not only are you earning some good money from doing those jobs, but you also reduce the price of buying that field, should you end up buying that field, as your trust is increased with the farmer. So yeah, really pleased about that. So it did make quite a big difference. And here we are now harvesting our canola. We're in our big old axial flow right here, Case International. Looks like a bit of a beast, doesn't it? And so what we'll do is we'll get this field. Now the only thing is because these fields are a little bit smaller than I'm used to, it means having to do quite a bit of fiddling around with trailers. Usually you can sort of harvest for quite a while the same crop, and then use your trailer and tip it out or sell it or do whatever you want to do. But as you can see here, I can't just carry on to the next field and continue to harvest without actually having to tip all this out and get rid of it. So that has really got me thinking about how I might be able to go ahead and join up some of these fields. Some of them I'm not going to be able to join up because I've got a fence in the road. And without going into the map editor and changing it, which I don't want to do, we'll just have to stick with having these smaller fields. But there are a couple along here. I think the cornfield and the one beside we should be able to do. And in fact, we could chop down those trees and make that maybe one big field. It just makes it a bit more efficient rather than have to constantly empty your trailer and all that sort of stuff. So we should get a decent amount out of this field of canola. Won't be a massive amount, but it's certainly worth harvesting. And I'll just store it in the meantime. My cows will need some feed at some stage, whether I feed them canola or whether I feed them soybeans or something similar. We'll just have to see. But yeah, the good thing is it doesn't take too long to get these fields done. So what I'll do, guys, as usual, I'll just go ahead and get this done, and I'll join you on the other side. So take it easy, back soon. And here we are, almost completed this field, and as you can see there's nothing left at all. It's funnily enough, I've been a lot more accurate with my own fields than I have the other farmers. And let's just flick that pipe out there. Hold on. Let's turn it off. Just put the pipe out. And I'll just leave the harvester over here. We'll park him up and we'll go and grab our trailer. And I'm going to have a think about what I'm going to do here, because what I will grab this trailer, this tractor I should say. Where did I put my trailer? Oh, it's over here, my tipper. It helps if you don't have your fertiliser on the back. What I need to do is have a think about whether I sell this straight away or whether I store it. Now I did say earlier I was going to store it, but I'm just thinking I do actually have to buy a corn header for my combine. So I'll quickly check out how much that's going to be, and it might be a case of having to sell some of this crop for a start. I'll have to check out the prices. We'll see what crop we're going to get the most for. We've got our corns ready to harvest, by the way, and this little field over the back here with wheat in it is ready to harvest. So let's just pull up underneath our combine. There goes the canola. This isn't going to hold a lot, this trailer. And let's just quickly check out the price of canola is going for. It's got a higher demand at Right Agribusiness, so that's good. We can get a decent price. And if we just look at our headers, we're looking for this one, 12,000. That's all it is. It's not much at all, is it? Let's take a look. How much canola? We've got 5, 6. Sorry, that's not canola. Canola 7,001. Okay, look, we've got plenty of canola. So I think what I'll go ahead and do, let's go and sell this at Right Agribusiness. That will allow us to buy the corn header, which will then allow us to harvest that cornfield, which is going to be quite a nice little return on that cornfield, because I think that's the biggest field on the map. It'll be close to it, if not second or third biggest. Oh, where am I going? Where's Right Agribusiness? It's better find out where that is. Okay, it is the one right beside us now. There, is it? Or there? I don't know. Is it on the right hand side? Let's figure this out. Hold on. We'll get there. It's on what side? It's that one there. Actually, it's on the left hand side of the road. So it's over here somewhere. Oh, yeah, I can see right there. We will get there in the end, folks. We'll start the ramp here. Man, not much room around here, is there? Certainly no room for bigger vehicles, that's for sure. We'll go ahead and sell that. What do we got? 3,000, so we should make, what, $5,000, the best part of. That is a nice little return for that field. And of course, it allows us now, we've got enough income to buy the header that we're looking for. But before we go and buy that header, we'll get this little wheat field harvested. And we'll probably store the wheat, unless there's, let's quickly check out the prices of the wheat first. Wheat, yeah, then there's no greater demand or anything like that. not great demand, higher demand, whatever you want to call it. Let's throw the pipe in. So we'll go ahead and we'll get this little wheat field completed. Shouldn't take too long at all, in fact. Just lower this down, get back in there, turn it on, away we go. Easy as that, team. Yeah, with no greater demand, or it's not a great demand, higher demand for wheat. There's no use selling it. Oh, hold on. Oh, I should have put a straw swath on. But I don't have a baler, so probably not worth it. Given how little this paddock is, we're not going to get much at all from it. So I probably should have had it on, but we won't worry about it. We'll do a specific run to make bales on one of the bigger fields later on. But in the meantime, sorry about the view here, team. You're not going to be able to see much at all. We're sneaking around behind this building. So yeah, I mean, we have got our first harvest done and dusted. A nice little return on our canola. Although you've got to say, just doing work on other people's fields is way more profitable at the moment than it is, because you know, for each of your own field you've got to fertilise it, you've got to do all that sort of stuff. So it's definitely a lot more profitable doing those other jobs for other people. But it's always fun doing your own fields, that's for sure. And of course, you don't get to keep the crop, and you do need some of these crops to look after animals, so definitely worth doing your own, that's for sure. This is a funny shaped little field here. It is tiny, and it is odd shaped. Anyway, I'll join you back in a minute after I just wreck that windmill, and we'll go and buy a new header and get rid of this in a second, so see you in a minute. I have to say, that is one of the weirdest fields I have ever harvested. It is a weird shape, but it can definitely be linked up with the field beside, so I think I might do that at a later date. So we'll go and grab this wheat and we'll get rid of it. Tip it in. Not a heck of a lot out of this little field at all. But we'll fill up our trailer and we'll go and throw it in our silo. Now I just have to remember the right place to dump it. There it is right there. Everything is tight. Not much room at all. So we'll just swing around here. I thought I had it there for a second. I thought I was a backing magician, but I'm not. I think we all knew that anyway. Okay, right. This time. 8th time lucky. Yay! It's a miracle. We'll get that wheat in there. That is awesome. And now what we're going to do, folks, is... Wrong place. Let's get into this header store. Let's buy that. Select it. We'll buy it. Yes, 12,000 euro. And let's just get into our harvester. Put this up here. I'm just going to actually drop this right here. That was a bit messy. And I'm going to go and attach the corn harvester. We'll be down at the shop down here in the middle of town, and then we'll get into doing our cornfield. Okay, here we are. We're at our cornfield. It's a decent size. We should get a few trailer loads out of this, I would imagine. Oh, hold on. What am I doing? Fold. No. Let's go up here. Let's lower the header. Let's select the thing. Let's turn it on. All right. Let's get rid of that head. Just connected the bridge. Might need to resharpen this tool, I'd say. But here we go. We're away. We are harvesting corn. You little ripper, get in there. Jeez, I'm almost in that creek bed, I'll tell you what. Running a very fine line. Yeah, this harvester head is not big at all. It's going to take quite a while to get this field done, but hopefully get a decent amount of corn out of it. And like I said earlier, the intention really is, I think I can join this field and the one over in the distance there that you can see, the next one. Those trees can be cut down. I'm just not sure about these little bushes here. So what we might end up having, if you check this out here, is you probably... Whoa, where am I going? Oh, saved it. Oh, that was close. We might have a scenario. See these little bushes here on the right hand side? I don't think those can be... I think if I plough those, I don't think they disappear. I'm not too sure. I've never done it before, but those trees I can certainly cut, it looks like. So if we cut those out... Oh, we have got a big hump in the middle though. But hopefully we can get around that. And that would leave one quite sizable field. Though now we've got this tower in the road up here also. But no, I think we can do it. We'll give it a go at least. Anyway guys, this field's going to take quite a while, so what we'll do is I'll go away off screen and I will harvest the rest of this field. And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. And as you can see, we are just about finishing, or just about finished I should say, harvesting the final part of this cornfield. We've got the worker in there on the combine. I'm taking charge of the tractor with the tipper on the back, and we'll just get the rest of that corn right there. And there we go, 2,000 litres of corn. And I've done about, so far, about 10,000 litres of corn we've got out of this field, plus this 2,000, so about 12,000 litres. So look, it's a decent sized field, and if we just look around here, we can actually join that up with this little field of which currently looks like it's got what's it got in it? Let's remind ourselves, everybody. What is it? It is sugar beet. That's right. We'll get there eventually, and that will be one nice big field, and we could almost join it up with the one at the back. I have been taking a look at that. It's going to be hit and miss, but we'll give it a go probably next episode. So yeah, 10,000 or 12,000 litres of corn out of that smallish field is not too shabby at all. So we'll rock on in here. I've been trying out different ways of dropping off the harvest. Well, smashing into this house is not the best way to go about it. But what we can do... Okay, you'd think by now that I could actually back this thing properly, but no, not to be. And there we go. It seems to be the easiest way to go in there and then back it in there rather than do it long way. So let's just check out our corn. And we're now up to 19,000. I think we're on 7,000 when we started tipping that in. But there we go, ladies and gentlemen. We are harvesting our own fields, which is pretty awesome. That concludes this episode this time. Next time, we'll see if we can put a few fields together. We'll continue to build some funds. And we probably need to start looking at cleaning up our animals and feeding them. So, guys, I want to say a huge thanks very much for watching. Make sure you smash the like button down below. Subscribe if you haven't done so already. And as always, take it easy.